And at the end of my high school years, just as I was about to graduate, I developed a major crush on one of my teachers. And the worst part, he felt the same way. We actually had a little moment, just a quick kiss, nothing major. It didn't go anywhere, especially since I was underage at the time and he was my teacher. So yeah, that would have been illegal. Anyway, the school year ended shortly after I graduated and I never saw him again. Then, in 2015 I got married. And just to be clear, I was madly in love. I was sure that this was what I wanted for my life. We'd been dating for a long time and honestly, I used to joke that he was dragging things out too long. But the real story begins in 2017. My husband's best friend was getting married and invited us to be part of the wedding party. I didn't really know the bride. I had seen her maybe 2 or 3 times max. But of course we accepted out of respect for his friend. And guys, I almost fainted. There I was, standing at the altar, looking across at the bride's side of the wedding party. And who do I see? My ex-teacher. The one I had that little fling with. By then it meant nothing, it was a silly teenage thing, but I had no idea they even knew each other. I definitely wasn't expecting him to be there. When he realized who I was, he wouldn't stop staring. Got super awkward. He kept checking me out the whole time and I was freaking out, hoping none of the guests would notice. I just kept thinking, please let this ceremony end fast before someone catches on. At the reception, the bride went around introducing everyone who hadn't met yet. That's when she came over and introduced my ex-teacher as her uncle. He shook hands with me and my husband, and I just pretended I didn't know him. The way he was staring made it clear I couldn't exactly go, "Oh hey, you used to be my teacher." I just wanted to avoid the whole situation. But during the whole party he wouldn't stop. I'd go to the bathroom, he was staring. I'd come back, he was staring. I danced with my husband, still staring. Then the bride called me over to dance with her, which was weird because we didn't really have that kind of closeness. But I figured maybe she was trying to build a connection since I was the wife of her husband's best friend. And then she dropped the bomb. "I don't know if you've noticed, but my uncle's really into you." "What?" I told her. "I'm married. And I'm married to your husband's best friend. Are you out of your mind?" She just said, "Nobody has to know. I won't tell if you don't." I asked her to stop talking like that because if anyone overheard, it'd look bad for both of us. I just wanted to shut that down. So after the dance, I went back to my husband and said, "Babe, let's go. I've got a headache. I'm feeling hot. I think I need to go home." And that was my mistake. Leaving so suddenly after dancing with her made it seem like she said something to me. My husband immediately got suspicious. "Why are you trying to leave all of a sudden? You were having fun just a minute ago. What did she say to you?" He thought she had insulted me or made me uncomfortable, and I kept saying, "No, it's not that. I just felt dizzy after the dance and want to go home." But then she went back to her uncle, talked to him for a while, and came back again, to ask me to dance again. At that point, my husband was watching the whole thing and clearly picking up on the weird vibes. I just said, "No, I really don't feel well," and I could tell he had figured it out. Then he said, "Am I seeing this right, or am I going crazy?" She tried to play dumb. "What? I don't understand." He replied, "Are you seriously bringing messages from your creepy uncle to my wife?" She went pale and started stammering, No, you're misunderstanding." He cut her off. "I'm not misunderstanding anything. He's been staring at my wife all night. And now you're talking to him and trying to get her to dance again. What's going on?" I tried to calm him down. "Babe, let's just go home and I'll explain everything." But he wasn't having it. "Nope. You're going to explain it right now. See, my husband is a kind, respectful guy. Not violent. But he hates disrespect, and that teacher was being super disrespectful. So I had no choice. I told him the truth. Okay, I knew him before. He was one of my teachers. We had a little thing, just a couple of kisses, nothing serious years ago. But by then my husband was already fired up. He marched over to the guy and said, "So you're trying to relive the past with my wife, huh? That's why you can't stop staring at her. You should be ashamed of yourself. That's not how a real man behaves." Instead of backing off, the guy smirked and said, "That's not up to you. It's up to her. You're not her owner. You're just her husband. The one who pays the bills." Can you believe that? That point my husband lost it. He lunged at the guy, and they ended up in a full-blown fight at the wedding. I had to help pull him off, along with the bride's dad and another guy I didn't even know. The groom, my husband's childhood best friend, came running over, totally shocked. "Seriously, Mike? I thought you were my best friend. You're ruining my wedding." But my husband, still furious, replied, "I am your friend. Probably the most honest person here. So let me give you some advice. You should dump that bride of yours. She's trouble. If you stay with her, she'll cheat on you forever." She knew I was married, and she still tried to hook her uncle up with my wife. What kind of person does that? Luckily, the groom was a pretty calm guy. If he'd been more hot-headed, that fight could have gotten even worse. He just told us to go home, cool off and talk later. So we left. But my husband spent the whole drive home upset, saying I should have told him everything from the start. That I should have told him I already knew the guy, that we had a thing. He thought I hid it because the guy still meant something to me. But eventually, after he cooled down, he realized I was just trying to avoid making a scene at his best friend's wedding. Unfortunately, the damage was done. My husband ended up cutting ties with his best friend. They had been close since they were kids, and he still says he misses that friendship, but he just can't stand that woman. And to make it worse, we've heard rumors that she's cheated on her husband multiple times. With his friends, even some people in his family. I don't know if that's true, but based on what she pulled on her wedding day, it wouldn't surprise me. Hey my loves, how are you doing? I really hope you're all doing great. I have to agree with the girl telling the story. Considering what the bride did at her own wedding, it's totally fair to be suspicious of those rumors. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed today's story. Don't forget to leave a like because it really helps the channel grow. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so YouTube lets you know whenever I post a new story. And leave lots of comments down below. I want to hear what you thought about this one. Big kiss, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one.